Hey everyone, so next on the list of focus energies to involved in the creation process is emotion or energy in motion. We're first going to look at the spectrum of emotional frequencies, the higher or faster vibrating emotions and then the lower or slower vibrating emotions. We're going to see how you can take yourself from a low frequency with your emotions into a high frequency, and then also what changes you can make to your lifestyle to work towards vibrating from a higher frequency longer and longer. So first, it goes without saying that every human on this planet experiences pain and suffering in some form or another, and it is the feelings that come about from it are valid. This post isn't to say that you should try and bypass the negative or shadow aspects of emotion and just strive to live in the light. Often the suffering, the pain and the suffering is what brings about our greatest growth. So yes, what I wanted to say was, it depends on your attitude. Like, things can happen, difficult situations can unfold in your life, and you can allow yourself to go into the process of feeling and interpreting and processing the shadow aspects of the emotion and letting go of someone or something. If it was a loss or a job, letting go of a job, that kind of thing. You can have your crisis. You can be a human and have your crisis unfold, and you can feel the crisis emotions that come with it. But whether you choose to don't choose to live in the emotions of the crisis forever. At some point you're going to have to pack up your tents and carry on up the mountain to the next place that you're going to be camping at. So yeah, like, your attitude towards life will either see you overstaying your welcome in sadness or self-pity, or accepting what has happened and allowing yourself to feel your way through the difficult emotion and then continuing forward with optimism. But with regards to which emotion you choose to frequent most often, or which emotional spectrum, where on the emotional spectrum you choose to live most often, this determines what level you vibrate at energetically. And depending on the level you're vibing at, this will determine the life experiences you're attracting into your field. Obviously, everybody dies, everybody loses people, and everybody has to grieve. Like, that is one part of the process. But it's how easily you let go and detach and move on from the stuff that matters, and makes a difference in how you and where you are on your frequency range. So at the lower or slower vibrational emotional frequencies, we have fear, depression, guilt, jealousy, hatred, rage, doubt, worry, disappointment, irritation, pessimism, and boredom. But I hope you can hear over this message, over this music. Along the upward spiral of the higher or faster vibrating emotional frequencies, we've got love, joy, excitement, freedom, optimism, passion, hopefulness, appreciation. But if you have to think about the lower frequency emotions, if you have to close your eyes and feel about like anger or frustration or sadness, like, notice how it makes your body feel. I think that for me and a lot of other people I know, the experience of the lower frequency emotions feels contractive, and their body goes all tense, and like the shoulders are tense and the tummy's tense and the bum is tense, and even like the breath is very shallow. But on the other spectrum, if you think about love and appreciation, the feeling of freedom, your body can relax and like really like flow and move, and like it's often why like dancing is such a great activity, you know, because your whole body just like flows, and also your breathing is nice and deep and flowing, and it's really like it's a high vibration. You can feel why it's higher vibrational, lighter versus the lower, denser, contractive emotions. But this should give you a pretty good idea of what you're magnetizing into your life with the emotions that you're choosing to live in. Happy people tend to go with the flow and don't get thrown off by much for too long, while unhappy people often seem disgruntled for way longer by anything anyone ever does, and they're attracting lower frequency experiences because they're choosing to dwell and live in the misery. But yeah, so happy people, they just tend to go with the flow because they're aligned with the good vibe. So like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. Oh yeah, this feels good too, I'll go do that. But if our thoughts are the intentions of what we want to create, our emotions are the amplifiers and transmitters that magnetize the state of being that we're calling into our experience. So negative thoughts and bad vibes equals sucky experience, but positive thoughts and good vibes are going to give you awesomeness. I have daily practices that I use as a tool to set the tone for the day. I do the practices in the morning before leaving the house, and my day goes much smoother than if I leave the house without doing them. Often when not doing them, it kind of gets to the point where it's like, wow, especially if you don't do them for a few days. Like if you were, like people say, like sit on the floor, you can't fall off the floor, but if you don't do your mindfulness practices for a few days, like you'll see just how far off of the floor you can fall. But yeah, so remember what I was saying about negative thoughts gathering enough momentum to be a runaway train that can't be stopped, and that the only way that you can stop a runaway train once it's at full speed is to often let it crash and burn. Well, it's the same thing with emotions, except emotions feel like an avalanche that you're getting buried alive underneath. So it's better to carry out preventative measures to stop the avalanche from coming down in the first place, rather than to get it to go back up once it's all started like coming down again. But I find the best way to center myself in good vibes is to sit and consciously give thanks for the people, joy, security, and resources I have in my life. I give thanks and feel appreciation for everything and everyone I have in my life. And if I've been especially grateful for something, or especially appreciative of something that's happened in my life, I often feel a warm pulse, like a pulse wave, like moving out from my heart space. It's like a warm pulse wave when I feel appreciation. But this is the frequency wave being sent out to attract more experiences to be appreciative of. I prefer to use appreciation more than gratitude, just because I find gratitude still holds an energy of desperation, because in a sense you have to like be in a situation that you're needing relief from, and once the relief happens, then you feel the gratitude for like being relieved from the bad thing. But it still feels contractive, while appreciation has a natural feeling that's filled with love and expansiveness. And when I feel appreciation, like it often puts a smile on my face. But yeah, another way to shift out of negative energy quickly is to get outside and move your body, going for walks, dancing, doing exercise. It floods the body and the system with happiness hormones, leaving us feeling optimistic and energized. The cleaner the food is that you're eating is also going to make like a big difference. Like clean, fresh foods are going to leave you feeling lighter and brighter. They're going to be like great for your mood, while like the heavier foods that are processed and everything are going to leave you feeling heavy. But yeah, as you progress and you start living from a higher and higher vibrational point, you'll see that things that happen when living in lower vibe state fall away. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode.